Hey y'all, so I made some vegan bacon strips that were so freaking good. Listen, I used the extra crispy pieces to top a baked potato with. I normally stuff my potato with bacon, scallions, cheese, sour cream, and butter. And listen, it was so freaking delicious. And I even made a BLT, and I made it my way. I did it with mayo, mustard, some lettuce, and some tomatoes with a little bit of salt and pepper on them. And then I topped it with the bacon strips that I made. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, I have tried to make the bacon before, and it didn't turn out as crispy, but look at the bacon. It's giving bacon. Listen, the flavor was there. It was out of there. It was so freaking delicious. Even the strips by itself without the sandwich were so good and so delicious. It was crispy, but it still had those little fatty pieces, if you know what I mean, on there. But yeah, this is how it looks. And oh my God, y'all must try this recipe. So I'm going to tell you how I made it. In a bowl, you're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Now I am using a half measuring cup, so that's why I am doing so many. Then you're going to go in with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, then 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. You know, it got to have that maple flavor. And we're also going to go in with vegetable stock, liquid smoke, and also some nutritional yeast and give it a good mix. Make sure everything is completely mixed. I'm also going to take a block of tofu and kind of press it down, press the water out of it just a little bit. Now you want to slice these slices really, really thin. This is where, like I said, the little fatty pieces, if you know what I mean, are going to come in. So this is how thin I slice it. If you have like a little meat slicer or whatever to slice them thinner than this, that would be great, because some of mine did come a little thick on the edge. But I dipped it into the sauce that we just made, and I kind of let them sit there and marinate while I got the rice paper strips ready. This step is crucial because you do want the inside to taste like the outside as well. So let them marinate as much as you can. Next, we're going to take our rice paper and dip it in some water. You want to make sure you get it completely immersed so that it can soften up. We're then going to put it on the cutting board and cut our little strips of bacon. Okay, you can cut these how big, however small you want to, but make sure to cut them real good because it can be hard to cut, especially if you didn't get it wet enough. Now we're going to take our sauce and we're going to brush it onto our strips. And this is where I actually messed up, y'all. This is my first time doing it like this, but you want to first dip the rice paper into the mixture so that you don't have to flip them like I did here. But I'm going to show y'all a second time. Anyway, I flipped them and I brushed the sauce on the back side, and then we're going to put the tofu strips into the rice paper, and then we're going to wet another rice paper strip. This time I dipped it in the sauce. You see where I dipped it in the sauce? And then we're going to put it on the cutting board and then cut it into the strips so that we can lay them on top of the tofu and kind of enclose it in just a little bit. And this way it's a lot easier to cut as well because the rice paper is wetter. I don't know, if you don't get it wet enough, baby, it's going to be real hard to cut. And make sure you're using a very, very sharp knife to cut these strips. Anywho, like I said, we're going to lay it on the top. Okay, make sure to cut them the same size and lay it on top. And then we're going to brush some more of the sauce on top of that to kind of close the tofu in a little bit. This is why I got to be thin. We're going to pop them in the oven and let them bake. And this is what it's going to look like when they come out. Now, I did do some strips with tofu, some strips without tofu, and then just did some of the tofu by itself just to see what comes out the best. And I must say, these are the ones that come out the best, with the tofu in the middle, with the strips on the outside. Listen, look at that. Don't they look like bacon? And it was so delicious. The flavor card was there, okay? Period.